I have some amazing friends. People like Wide Awake, people like Robert Forsh, people like Dave Marsh, who are always out filming and researching. And I also have Gillian, who's done some amazing footage on the Eclipse in Australia last week. And I thought I would add a couple of musical friends. One is Josh Stone, and the other one is Virtec. I'm going to use Virtec's music, Gillian's, and then he's done a video, so I'll play it at the end. I'm quite spellbound by how brilliant Virtec is at playing the saxophone. And Josh on his guitar. Anyway, mix and mash, but love it all. Thanks very much to all my friends.
Fly me to the moon. Let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, I miss you. In other words.
I'm just sitting here with Virtec. I've rang him up because I wanted to ask him a few questions. Virtec, I love that song that you've done. I've played it quite a few times now. You're a mean saxophone player.
Well, thank you very much.
I didn't know you could play like that. That's. I'm not really that much into jazz, but I really like that song.
Well, yeah, I was really like a professional sax player for a while, and mostly I was in like sax sections because that was the only place you could get work. Occasionally, I'd just do a little bit of.
Yeah, you said it's not very good for your teeth, didn't you?
Basically, I got into a fight when I was younger, and my two front teeth got waggled about, and eventually it became such a hassle that I stopped playing the sax in America. But I was a pro sax player for many years. Started playing the recorder
where did the name of the song come from?
7, and then classical clarinet when I was about 9.
Oh, come on, that song was like it'd come from a film. It was that good.
Well, thank you. Well, people used to pay me money to play when I was younger.
So that's something you played more in America than you played here then?
No. I was like, who did I play with? I was in a band called The Foundations. Baby, now that I found you, I can't let you go. I don't know if you remember.
What are you? Really?
Yeah, so I used to, like gig around England with them. And then...
That's it, you're famous!
No, I'm not. And then I did a couple of European tours with a horn section for Edwin Starr. War, what is it good for? And I used to do absolutely nothing.
Really? Oh my God, I'm going to get your signature when I next to you. I'm going to say, I've got Virtec's signature. Oh wow, so you're
I remember with Edwin Starr playing at Naples NATO base. There was about like 5,000 really big, strong sort of American sergeants. And I thought, oh my God, we're going to get out there in front of them and go, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. But actually, they all loved it, and all hoops and hollers. So that was all right. And yeah, and then after I'd been done that for a bit, a friend of mine, Guy Pratt, who ended up playing, he said, "Oh, you're becoming a dinosaur. I have to get you a new gig." And that's him saying, "You're becoming a dinosaur." And he ended up playing bass for Pink Floyd, ultimate dinosaur. But anyway,
why did you name it that, by the way? Then is that original name?
Anyway, he got me this job with this new wave band called the Members.
You're just telling me all your important bands, aren't you?
Yeah, so I did that for a while, and then I sort of stopped touring around because it was, like I remember with Edwin Starr, he turned up in a Bentley and we turned up in the back of the van, yeah. So ended our game.
Yes, it's not always.
Yeah, being a sax player, you're always on the edge. You're never actually part of the band. To be part of rock and roll back then, you had to play like guitar or bass or piano or even drums.
A friend of mine is a well, I don't know if he still does it, but he's a roadie. Like he gets all the equipment for the band, and all they do is travel at night, set up in the afternoon or something. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just on the go all the time. He doesn't really get to see anything or do anything because he's always travelling to the next gig.
Oh, well, when I started, we didn't have roadies. I remember going and doing a gig at the Cavern about 8 o'clock through to 10, packing it all up, putting it back in the van, then off up to Wigan to do the Wigan all-nighter. And you get it through with that about 1 or 2 at night, and then it's put everything back in the van and drive back to London.
Those were the days, Virtec. Those were the days. And Virtec, what was the name? Did you name that song afterwards, or was that the original name of that song?
Well, actually, when I first did, I think I'd been listening to Junior Walker, who the original Cleo's Mood came from. Dang, 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 dang. Yeah, anyway.
You know what, I just think it's good enough that if that had come from a number one film.
So when I'd recorded it, I just wanted, what shall I call it? What shall I, a working title? So on the tape, it had on the tape box, it said Cleo's Mood. And when I was remastering it to put it out on the track, I thought, well, I can't call it Cleo's Mood. That's too, So what can I do? And I thought, I know, Cleo's Moody. Because actually, when you listen to the track, it's about a sort of it sounds like a conversation with a lady who is maybe being a bit moody. So the track pulls from sort of slightly scrambled, sort of, what's going on, and then it pulls back into trying to be logical and spaced out, and it's a bit like a relationship can be sometimes. So.
Virtec, is that song? Did you play all the instruments?
Yes.
You told me about this the other day. I was just checking. I just wanted to put this in the video because what I've done is I've used your video over Gillian's Moon. She did the Eclipse the other day, all the footage of that. I've got my friend Josh Stone who does a bit of singing and guitar, so I stuck a little bit of him in. But then I've got your song again at the end with the video, and I'm going to stick this in front of it.
Oh, all right.
I wanted people to hear who made the song because it's such a brilliant song. Did it? How long? You said it took a few years to make that.
Yeah, well, I recorded before I went to America. I actually recorded it on tape, and then I took the tape to America with me. And then while I was in America, I put it in the computer and started doing a bit more to it. And then I came back to England, and I thought, I better mix that and master it.
When did you make that song then? When did you make it?
Sort of 90s, probably.
Really? It's such a brilliant song, Virtec. The whole thing, I love it. Especially like when you're bobbling through the saxophone later on in the song. Do you know what I mean? You're going, I can't do it because I can't play the saxophone.
Well, I did go through a free jazz period, when I was younger.
Is that what you called it? You call that jazz, or do you call that?
So it's got a little bit of that in it, but I'm basically a melodic player, so it's sort of skirting between slightly free jazzy bits and then into melodic strength of it. So.
I never knew you were so famous. I want your autograph.
I'm not famous. Sax players, they're always in the back. Sometimes it could be good being in the back. I remember doing the Hammersmith Odeon with members, and we were backing up Bad Manners, Bust a Blood Vessel. And I remember going out on stage, and there was 5,000 sea-hiling skinheads, man. I thought, oh my God, and we got into it. And back then, it was all about gobbing on stage. It was disgusting. Poor Nicky Tesco, the singer, he ended up covered in bloody punk gob. But luckily, for once, the sax of the horn section was right at the back on a little stand. None of the gob reached me, so that was good. So.
That sounds horrible. I remember going to see the Stranglers, and I think again it was that era where people would throw things on the stage, or you said spit, and then they just suddenly went, "If you do that again, we're going off stage and we're not singing." That's what they said. And they didn't do an encore either.
It was pretty bad. Actually, Bad Manners didn't want to be the skinhead band. They just got adopted by the skinheads.
But we watched Tom Petty.
I had to put up with it or have no fans.
We watched Tom Petty the week before. It was all at the Brighton Centre. And Tom Petty, he did an encore. I think he was out of his brain. It was his last night of his gig. He went on and on and on and on. The Stranglers didn't even do an encore.
Yeah.
In the same place a week later. But Virtec, I just wanted to add this little bit to the video because I was putting you in here and I thought, well, I'm going to speak to you put a little bit extra on the video because that song is magic, that song's like from a film.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. And
you just asked me to play it, and
everyone
I
go to the Virtec channel and subscribe and give it a listen because YouTube doesn't like the fact that I've got like flat Earth videos on, So.
Well, what I've done is I've recorded you over the top of Gillian's video, and I've put the video back on with your video at the end. So this will be what you're saying now. We'll go in front of that, your video. And it's got your channel name on it. I've filmed it so that it says Virtec on it, so that they know it's your channel to go to.
All right then.
And and you said it very quickly. You said it took a couple of years to make that.
Well, no, it was on, like on and off. It's a bit like you got a painting, and you come out with the outline of it, and then put it away for a year or two, and then a year or two, oh, let's colour that in a bit.
It's amazing because
So,
some people have rhythm and some people don't. And listening to you, you got the rhythm.
yeah, well, I'd started off classical, and it took me a while to learn how to improvise properly. You have to get in tune with your heart.
I didn't realise you were so musical, to be honest. When you've done your other song, do you remember your other song you did with Astral? You did
Oh, yeah.
I
I was just adding to, I was adding in with, there was three of us. That was Double O in Tenerife, and Astral was in Denmark at the time, and I was in London. So it was right at the beginning of the Troubles, and we were just making our statement.
Yeah, but I didn't realise that you were so musical. So I'm really sorry. I bow in front of you right now, Virtec, because that song was brilliant.
I'm just a kid who practiced his recorder, that's all.
Virtec, I'm arranging another hangout. I got Cece to say hi the other day. That was about it. And Jin said yes. When? So they want to have a hangout. So I just got to nudge Cece again.
All right.
But I just wanted to I wanted to give you a little round of applause for such a brilliant song.
Well, thank you. I'm not very good at blowing my own trumpet or saxophone, so.
That's funny. I can't even play one, but I'll blow it for you. But
yeah, when I was doing it, we always had a manager, but I haven't got a manager, so there you go. Yeah.
I'm your manager for the day.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen.
Anyway, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to put this in on the video because I wanted people to hear the voice behind the man that made the song.
Oh my God.
You're the voice behind the song.
All right then, my dear.
All right, my darling. Don't go. I'll say goodbye to you afterwards, but for the recording, bye, Virtec.
All the best.